all pain is real.
Yes, it is.
Physical, emotional, financial, divorce, checking into this hotel on Thursday. Pain is a universal human experience. However, how we each experience pain, that's completely personal. We've heard a lot of pain stories. Notice, they're all unique. Each of us in this room has a unique pain story. And today, I'm going to show you a different way to understand it. But first, we got to figure out what's behind the purple blur.
Oh, I'll take it.
Welcome to PainLESS for Life, the view from a cookie. You're going to hear me say PainLESS a lot today. When I say pain, you say less. Pain, less. Yes. Because most people think pain of it as like a lightning bolt. It is one moment, one cause, one fix, and it's just not that way. Even if you've had an injury, a surgery, or an accident, pain is much more complex. Pain is a multitude of things coming together. Just like the cookie is more than one ingredient creating that cookie outcome. I've got a cool fact for you today. Your brain processes 11 million pieces of information every second. And its job is to protect you. Sometimes it does it too well. The good news here is that we're never going to fully know what's causing our pain. However, knowing that there's that constant information going in, this lets us know that pain is not as fixed as it often feels. Let's shift away from trying to become pain-free, because that is not the goal. Pain less is. And we get there through knowledge and strategies. First, I need your help. Can you just randomly shout out your favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip.
Peanut butter.
Oatmeal raisin.
All right, cool. Lots of chocolate chip. Also notice, same category of cookie, but lots of different preferences. That's not random. That's your history, your experiences, your nervous system informing, receiving, and creating the outcome. Pain works the same way. Now, we know that ingredients are important, but that's only part of the story. But for fun, shout out some cookie ingredients. Chocolate chips, butter, flour, raisins. Okay, cool.
Main ingredient.
Yeah, I heard lots of things. Now, if I gave you a bowl of flour, would you have an amazing chocolate chip cookie?
No.
No. If I gave you a bottle of vanilla, would you have an amazing chocolate chip cookie?
No.
No, not at all. Because we do need the ingredients, but there's also so much more. We need to consider the environment, the timing, and the processing. And the same is true with pain. Often, people focus on only one area, or maybe two, and this is what can potentially keep pain being so persistent for so long. Notice, I've added unique and special. Some people like cranberries in their cookies. Some people don't. Some people like nuts in their cookies. Some people don't. And it's all okay. And sometimes, have you ever had that cookie and you cannot figure out why it's so amazing?
Yes.
Or the opposite, the cookie that's just crappy. That's funny. My former mother-in-law, she made amazing chocolate chip cookies. Me, I'm a good baker. I'm a pretty good chef, but the chocolate chip cookie has eluded me. My brother and I, we used to mail each other chocolate chip cookies back and forth, thinking we nailed it. we never nailed the chocolate chip cookie. So one time my mother-in-law came to visit and I thought, I'm going to figure this out. I watched her, I studied, she made amazing cookies. My turn. She watched me, I did all the things. My cookies? Mediocre at best. We don't always know. Remember, 11 million pieces of information. So rather than get caught up in the why, let's focus on understanding how pain works so that you can make informed choices of your best way out. What we're going to do now is look a little bit at the painful cookie so that we can find our way to becoming painless. Yes, people have talked about awareness. The same is true with pain. So we're going to look at this in three broad areas: inputs, processing, and outputs. We will start with inputs. The inputs for our crappy cookie, this is flour with bugs in it, or rotten eggs, perhaps vegan butter. Just kidding, it works just fine. Now, when we're talking about the inputs for our pain in our body and our nervous system, this is our muscle and our joints, but it's also the stress in our life. It's also the price of gas. It's also divorce. And so many of us have said, doing all the things. All of these inputs impact the next phase, and that is the processing. So the processing from our cookie, we have to consider oven temperature, the shelf we're using, even things such as altitude and humidity. They all impact how the cookie bakes. And when we're talking about the processing of our painful body and nervous system, this is your beliefs about pain. And there are a lot of harmful myths. This is your experiences with pain. How did your parents respond to you when you skinned your knee? How did your coach respond to you when you strained your shoulder throwing or swimming? All of these things, along with knowledge and culture and even more. So all of these things together, they create the outputs. So the outputs for our crappy cookie, which we've all had, is perhaps a burnt cookie, a raw cookie, or that fateful last cookie, the batch, that only has one chocolate chip in it. No one wants that cookie. And when it comes to our painful body and nervous system, the outputs are, shoulder pain, neck pain, autoimmune disease, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, IBS, and so many more. I have good news for you. Just as we cannot choose whether or not we age, we do get to choose how we age. We don't get to choose having significant life transitions, some of them, loss of a spouse or a partner or empty nest. We do get to choose how we navigate it. No one chooses to have pain for years or decades. But when you learn and understand how pain works, and you see that there are so many options, this now puts you in a place of choice to decide your next chapter. It is never too late to change the inputs, to alter the processing, and then we have an amazing output. This is neuroplasticity at its best. The brain can change. In fact, the brain circuitry replaces itself every 3 weeks. This puts you in the driver's seat of the change you want. Changing your outputs, this is what helps you become painless. Painless. Yes. Easier transitions. Less pain. More energy. and on from there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to figure out how do we get to this painless place. The research is clear. There are 3 things we need to do with people in pain to help them find a better place. And I've put them into an acronym, Empower You. The E is education. The M, motion is lotion. And the P is powering down your nervous system. Notice, we've covered a lot of this today and yesterday, inherently in many of the other talks. We're going to start with education. Is pain neuroscience education? I think most of us are familiar with this phrase. I don't like it. What do you think about this? When we know pain, we know gain. And it starts with pain neuroscience education. We have more than 36 systematic reviews and meta-analyses telling us when we teach people about pain, they have less pain. So we're going to go through one of our most popular stories. It's called the sensitive alarm. You're going to participate in this story. By show of hands, if you were to step on a rusty nail with your bare foot, would you want to know? One head nod, one raise, few yeah. Why do you want to know? Take it out, tetanus. Tell your spouse or kids to get the freaking nails out of the garage. So can we agree for the moment that pain is protection? All right, we're doing a super brief introduction to your nervous system. It is your brain, your spinal cord, and 400 nerves. Those 400 nerves are connected like one big crazy highway, 45 miles in length, 72 kilometers for our international friends. Now I want you to think, what city or town is 45 miles or 72 kilometers for our international friends from where you live? We could lay you and your nerves end to end, and we could get to that city. That's a lot of nerves. Now, if you're short like me, maybe not quite. If you're tall like some people, a little bit further, maybe 46 miles. But all of those nerves are connected. Now, let's go back to the nail for a moment. This one is a little bit of mind blow. When you step on that nail, it is not yet pain. We do not have pain nerves. We do not have pain sensors. We have danger sensors. And they send that information up to the spinal cord and then the brain. And if it crosses a particular threshold, that is when you'll have pain. Can we agree that your foot might be sore for a few days?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Every time you feel that soreness, it's not additional damage. It's just your nervous system doing its job of getting back to baseline. The problem we have is that about 1 in 4 people in our country and about 1 in 3 people in our world, it doesn't get back to baseline. So there's so much less wiggle room for them to do what they need and want to do. Here's another way to look at it. All right, let's just say that I chuck a brick through your front window today. Do you want your house alarm to go off?
Yes.
Beautiful. What if somebody messed with the sensitivity of the alarm and a leaf hit your window and your house alarm went off? Is your house okay? If a leaf hits your house and the alarm goes off, is your house okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I ask my clients, and I'll ask you, is it possible that your body, your house, is okay, and we need to focus on the sensitivity of the alarm? And it all starts with education. So next in our framework, we have the M for motion is lotion. Why? So many of us have incorporated movement, which is so cool. Intuitively, you know, you pinch your finger, what do? You shake your hand out. Movement creates blood flow. Blood flow creates happy nerves. It literally calms them down. So I do improv, and we're going to do a quick little improv warm-up now. And so I'm going to have you do it sitting, it's fine, so that we get a little bit of movement. Here's what it looks like. It's called Crazy Threes. I'm going to shout. You're going to punch one arm to the ceiling 3 times. Up, not out at your neighbor, please. And then we'll do 2 on each side. And at 1, we'll clap and say, PainLESS for life. Shout with me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. PainLESS. Cookie. Cookie? All right, so then that brings us to our third area, powering down the nervous system. Spoiler alert, you've already been exposed to several, and we have more than 22 evidence-based options. Today, we're going to spend a minute or so doing mental fitness exercises. So I'm going to invite you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes. And if you're not, maybe fix your gaze on the floor or a chair. And feel the weight of your body in your seat. The contact of your feet on the floor. And as we go through, if you have a thought or an emotion, that's okay. Just come back to the sensation. Now we're going to switch to sounds. What is the furthest sound that you can hear in our environment? What is the closest sound? Can you hear the sound of silence? It's always present, described as a light buzz and often muted. In a moment, I'm going to have you open your eyes, and when you do, open them so slowly and with such intention that you can feel your eyelids doing that work. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. It doesn't take long. If we had a fancy brain scanner, I'd be rich. And we would also see the survival structures quieting and the thriving structures activating. The more we do this, we create new patterns, neuroplasticity, and this is how PainLESS becomes the dominant pattern. All right, quick review. Education. Education helps people reduce pain. Better than many pain medications. Crazy. Movement eases nerve sensitivity. And powering down the nervous system, shifting from survival to thriving, and there's many, many options. I want to remind you by first line, all pain is real. All pain is physical and emotional. We cannot separate it. Pain is based on the level of threat, real or perceived. Here's an example of a real threat. During my divorce, a real threat was my finances are going to change. They did. A perceived threat, I'm going to live in a box. I have this awesome bookkeeper. She said, Jen, I'll make sure it's a really nice box. She's awesome, and I never had to live in a box. The message here, though, is your nervous system doesn't know the difference between real or perceived. It gets information, it processes it, it creates an output to protect you. End of story. We've talked a lot today about becoming PainLESS. Yes. And remember I said pain-free is not the goal. Imagine for a moment that you put your hand on a hot stove. You didn't know till you smelled it or saw it. Pain is normal. Living in pain is not. Pain is not a life sentence. We have the science and we have the humanness to help people. There's only one question that remains, and that is this. Which cookie do you choose to create? And where are you inspired to begin change today. I'm Jen Uschold, very honored, thank you. And if you would give me some feedback, that'd be amazing.